We're all in this moment together, enjoying this amazing sex show like rich people do. And then the last act comes on. Hi, I'm Zigrino, and this is the time I watched a bunch of rich people get squirted on. A few years ago, I was in New York City, and a very famous comedian who will not be named occasionally holds a comedian's ball. So all these comedians get dressed up, and we go to this club in New York, which is a burlesque club, to look beautiful and sexy and hot and just hang out, get drunk, do all that shit you do at a ball, whatever they do. I get invited to this comedian's ball. Everyone who is anyone is there. I cannot name names, but just trust me, everyone who's rich and famous, they were there. I do believe at one point maybe DJ Khaled was there, or Khalid. I don't know these terms, these young kids and they're fun people, okay? Just he was there, maybe, I don't know, cannot confirm nor deny. We all get to this ball, we're getting drunk, and this is a burlesque ball. There's very sexy dancers everywhere, very scantily clad ladies and men, which was kind of nice. The famous comedian, that shall go unnamed, calls everyone to the center of the room for the show to begin. So this has an actual show built into this ball. Everyone is there. I don't know, should I name names? I shouldn't name names. Just know that the way it was there's a staircase, this big long staircase. In the front were people seated on the ground, a bunch of rich motherfuckers just seated on the ground, drinking expensive drinks, Kettle One, Hennessy, whatever the fuck it is. Again, I drink off the well, I don't give a shit. Just drinking, all their bitches with them, just waiting for this, basically a sex show to begin. The comedian gets everyone settled. Suddenly the curtain opens and the show begins, and this beautiful girl steps out. She's covered in gold and glitter, and she's singing and dancing. And then the show starts, and the first thing that we see are just a bunch of naked women doing aerialist shit. They're up on hoops, above everyone, pussies out. You can just see directly into their vaginas. I could see their cervixes, but goddamn were they talented. So they're spinning around. Everyone's like, ooh, ah, amazing, wow, that's so sexy, ah, boners, whatever they do. Then they end. Then the next act comes on, and this act involves dudes dressed in tutus with fire-breathing talents. Normal shit that you see. Then they go off. Then the next one, which was my personal favorite act, was a woman who was completely naked, and as the set goes on, she starts pulling clothing out of different parts of her body. She pulled a skirt out of her vagina, and then she put it on. She pulled a shirt out of her wig, and she put that on. And then out of her butthole, she pulled a scarf, and then she tied the little scarf on. It's very impressive. I don't know how she did it. I do know how she did it. She shoved clothing in her body parts. So then that was that part of the show. She gets off. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this night could not get any cooler. I just saw a woman reverse dress. I'm standing next to one of my heroes as he's drinking, and we're all just watching the same thing. I see all of my heroes just seated, and we're all in this moment together, enjoying this amazing sex show like rich people do. And then the last act comes on, and it's this girl dressed in these little pigtails. She has a little cropped shirt on, so you can't see her nipples, but they're there. Little panties, and she's taking these photos with everyone. She's going around. Rock music is playing. That's her character, and she's taking these photos with all the celebrities and shit. And then she goes back on stage, and then she starts masturbating. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just oh, okay, well, I've done this. I've seen this before. I'm not that interested. So I decide to look down at my drink and be oh, I need another one. And then suddenly I hear screaming. And it's the sound of screaming as if someone had maybe brought a gun into the club. And then I look up, and she is squirting on everybody. All those rich people who were sitting in the front, they are front and center, Gallagher style, just getting squirted on by this girl, and they're screaming and running for the door, and in the background you can hear this very famous comedian just laughing, going, ha ha! And then the curtain closes, he gets up and he's like, let's dance! And then everyone just starts dancing. They don't clean up the mess, we're all just dancing in the jizz. And it was the greatest night of my life, honestly.